Man, August crept up on us fast, which means it's time for another Market Watch. And boy, do I have some news today. But first, I had to move my backlog out of the craft slash cosplay room to make room for how we wanted to rearrange it with the setup. And so I now have a fully functioning workstation. It's my old computer desk. So many videos were made on this desk. Over 1,000 videos were made on this desk, I believe, easily. So Blade Liger is in the repair station because it wants to be a complete pain in the ass and does not want to stand up. And I know it's because I just built it wrong. I know I've talked about this in other videos, but when I build the red one and then the 2020 version, the reissue that just came out, the non-van version, it'll be better. But I want to fix this guy up and make sure that it's able to stand. So I've got my snippers and some glue. I've got my mat going on. Have a tray I can pull out that's normally the computer keyboard tray for some other tools. And we've got some other kits that are going here. Look at this tiny little X-Wing. Oh, it's so cool. These are the last remaining Bandai Star Wars kits at Hobbytown. I sadly could not get the Y-Wing. That's the only one I'm missing. And I've got some Beetles. Some Zoids Wild and Wild Zero Beetles. And then the rest of the backlog I'm going to be building soon is right over here. These are all the Hasbro and Wild kits that are, motorized and pretty easy to build. And then I had to move the rest of the backlog over here out of the way for the time being. So the whole rest of the backlog is right here. So we will be starting on the Red Blade Liger very soon, and then maybe eventually get to all these Gundams and other miscellaneous kits. So, all right, now for the August Market Watch. All right, guys, welcome to the August Market Watch. So we have a pretty huge announcement here that I am really excited about. So look at this masterpiece. This is the Hagane Works Blade Liger. I don't know anything about this brand. I don't think that they have made any Zoids before. This looks like another masterpiece Zoid, similar to the Shield Liger and Saber Tiger we had gotten before, but I don't think it's made by the same company, and it's not called a Masterpiece Blade Liger. But I think it looks way better, because I talked before about how I don't like the Masterpiece Shield Liger and its big, ugly head. This might be the best looking Blade Liger that's ever been made. Better than the Revoltech, better than the Hasbro, the Takara Tomy, the HMM, even the reissued HMM, because it looks like the color scheme is correct, and it's all molded in. So the feet and the fangs and the blades are molded in a metallic gold color. I don't know if that's plastic or die cast yet. And then if you just look right here, I know I can't really zoom in too much. Oh, it's got attack boosters too. Oh my god, I want this so bad. Because you can't have enough Blade Ligers, right? But it looks to me like a lot of this detail is molded in, which is, again, even more detail than the Takara Tomy one has. The HMM does. And the top of the attack boosters, it looks like it's a off-white, like pearl off-white, same as the fins right here, the mane. And I think that is very appealing. That is kind of what I talked about in the Liger Zero review, where I said that if you have it too white, where it's semi-transparent, it starts to yellow a little bit, or light shines through it. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I am so blown away by this. I was actually kind of expecting it to be a different size, but it actually apparently is 1/72nd scale, so it will scale nicely to your HMM Blade Liger. And I don't know if this is a model kit that you actually build, or if it's similar to like the aggressive series, like with the Hayate Liger that I have, where it's just an articulated figure. But either way, it comes from Good Smile Company. Very, very nice. And you can pre-order it here on the Good Smile Company site. It is
very expensive, even by HMM standards. You're looking at around $240 for this. I'm very tempted to buy it because obviously the Blade Liger is my favorite Zoid of all time, and this thing is amazing. But I have so many Blade Ligers as it is. I have all three different colors of the motorized one, and I have two blue HMMs, as you saw at the beginning of the video, plus the 2021 I haven't built yet, and the red HMM that I haven't built yet. So if we get a reissue of the HMM Blade Liger, I've also have the Revoltech Blade Liger Mirage, so I have way too many Blade Ligers, but this just seems way too good to pass up. So over here, I wanted to show off the HMM Red Horn up close a little bit, because I had talked about this in the last video a little bit, but I don't think I showed off what it looks like. That cannot be the best picture. You've got to show me a closer up picture than that. But this thing looks just incredible. Now, I did say that this is literally just a re-release of the exact same HMM Red Horn that was previously released, and is not a repackaged version or new box art. It's not been retooled in any kind of way. It is exactly the same kit. It's just a second printing of it, which I think is fine. I find it interesting that the tail has like that little sled. Oh, stay on the same picture. The tail has that little sled thing down there to kind of keep it from dragging the ground, which I think is really interesting. But I've grown to become a pretty big fan of the Red Horn and Dark Horn over the years. And I don't own an HMM Dark Horn or Red Horn at all, but so I'm kind of tempted to pick one of these up. I think I'd rather have an HMM Dark Horn, especially because the Red Horn was one of the Zoids I've had since 2002. So I'm not in a big hurry to have an HMM Red Horn, more so a Dark Horn, because I feel like I missed out on the Dark Horn over the years. And the Hasbro Dark Horn that I have has the same weapon configuration as the Red Horn. So but I do have that beam Gatling unit HMM customized parts. So if I do get the Red Horn, I can equip it with the beam Gatling unit if I so choose to. One thing I thought was really cool about this is you can see right here the classic vintage Empire Zoid or Red Zoid head that was very common with a lot of the vintage Zoids, that they sort of carried that aesthetic design over into some of the modern ones, and a lot of the ones that ended up being Empire Zoids, like the Hellcat and the Iguan and something, have this type of head, and it's really cool because the cockpit opens up and reveals that inside the actual large head itself. I thought that was a really nice touch. The bottom of the feet have got detail. These weird things on the side pop out, which I guess, I don't know if they're supposed to be missiles or just vents or whatever, but yeah, the amount of weapons in this thing is just absolutely absurd. Very, very cool. So the HMM Red Horn is available for pre-order on HLJ and AmiAmi as well. While we're here, nothing really new on HLJ except the Hagane Works Blade Liger is on here as well, and again, you can see $240, and that's before shipping, so this thing is going to be very expensive. I mean, that's less than the HMM Death Stinger right here, which is still on back order. I don't expect it to ever come back. Other than that, HLJ is pretty much the same. Again, the Genosaur is pretty much gone. Surprisingly, it looks like the Command Wolf already sold out as well. That's already on back order. You can still pre-order the HMM Genobreaker, and you can still pre-order the Greasus from Zoids Wild Zero. And that's about it. Looks like Terrorist Bomber is still in stock. Over here on AmiAmi, pretty much the same. So Hagane Works Blade Liger, again, is available for pre-order. Red Horn is available for pre-order here as well. The Genobreaker is still available, and the Lightning Sykes is actually still available as well for pre-order, whereas that is sold out. Orders are closed for that on HL. Wild Liger, in the previous video, it is still available on here as well. If you guys, I know I said order it quick before it's gone. Surprisingly, it has held out quite a bit. The Gojulas former Republic model has been released, and some people have gotten their hands on it. I noticed some people in the Zoids collectors group were kind of not a fan of it. They had some criticisms of it, and it's always good to hear that. It's always good to hear some different perspectives on it. So, of course, I have the actual the modern one, the standard HMM Godos that's a little bit older that I still have to build. But if you look at the box art for these two, you can see the opposite one in the frame, and so it's like an inverse of the box art where it shows one or the other in the center, and that's kind of which one you're dealing with. These Ligers are still in stock. Of course, the Genosaur is gone. So I found an interesting website when one of our friends in the Fire Emblem Discord was talking about the Fire Emblem Cypher card game and how it's sort of going away. And they posted a site where they're able to order a lot of their cards from. And so I found this wonderful new site. This is called Ninin Games. It seems like it's pretty reputable. It also is another site similar to HLJ and AmiAmi where you are got to find a better way of recording these because it just froze on me again and I lost like this entire segment. So anyway, Ninin Games. So I think this is a pretty awesome site, and they have a ton of Zoids. I couldn't believe the availability that they have on these things. Like, so D-Bison is in stock, and as we saw, that thing went away really quick on the other sites. The same two I've been talking about are available for pre-order on here. The Hagane Works Blade Liger is a great price, as you can see. These three are still available for pre-order as well. Again, I talked about how the HMM Wild Liger is becoming very hard to find. That's a stupidly low price on that. The Lightning Sykes is still available for pre-order on here. Like we said, it was sold out on HLJ, completely gone. And then all of this stuff is in stock, which is incredible. I mean, the Great Saber came out a little bit ago, and that one was hard to find. I've got the previous printing of that. The Storm Sorter, that's pretty expensive for it, but that thing became very hard to find very quick. And the Iron Kong Yeti is still in stock on here as well. Command Wolf is still in stock. These two are still in stock, which I talked about how I may still pick up this one, but it's out of stock on the other two sites. Actually, no, it is out of stock here because it says out of wish list. Dang, I hate that. So I'm calling it there. I'm not getting the reissued Genosaur. I'm just going to stick with my Psycho Genosaur, and that's it. The Godos is available here. They have an actual Dark Horn as opposed to just the Red Horn. So how I talked about just a minute ago, how I might prefer to have a Dark Horn over a Red Horn. But this one already has the Beam Gatling unit, so we'll see. I may just use the Beam Gatling unit I have on my Great Saber if it's compatible. Surprisingly, Storm Tyranno is in stock on here, which this thing has been gone from nearly every site. So if you guys are still looking for this guy, definitely pick it up here. It's pretty expensive, but I mean, that's what it goes for. I mean, it's not a cheap kit, but it's pretty much out of stock everywhere. Got all the Liger Zero variants, including, for some reason, 2 versions of the same one. This one's in stock. I don't know what the difference is between those two. They've got the video game, which, of course, is out of stock, but it's way cheaper than what we saw on Amazon last month. But what was most impressive about this site is they have the Revoltech Zoids, which, as you guys saw, my review of the Revoltech Blade Liger Mirage, which is not in stock, unfortunately. These are really nice. They don't have nearly as much detail as the HMMs, and they're way smaller, but the level of articulation you get is just completely unrivaled. So here we have the Genobreaker, the Revoltech Genobreaker, and you can see it looks a little bit derpy when you're used to the level of detail in the HMMs, but just the posability in this thing is incredible. So if you guys are interested in picking up the Revoltech Zoids, definitely check out Ninin Games because they're pretty much impossible to find everywhere else. And I've seen them go for like over $200 on eBay, and I think I paid way more for my Blade Liger Mirage than what this one is right here. I think I paid closer to this price for my Mirage. Of course, this is out of stock and probably will not be this price ever again, but it is what it is. And guess what, guys? The friggin' Kotona figure is in stock on here. The one I jokingly showed off in the previous video is actually available on here. And I don't know what scale this is. Keep in mind, again, this is an older figure from like 2008, I think, is when Genesis was airing. So it's not going to be quite as nice as a modern anime figure, but if it's like 1/7 scale or 1/8 scale, yeah, I guessed that right, 2008 right here. But if it's like 1/7 scale, then that's not a bad price for it, honestly. Again, shout outs to my friend Cheyenne for cosplaying her. I may actually pick this up. You never know. It's just I need more room for anime stuff. I don't want to buy a bunch of figures and not have room for them. So it is what it is. But yeah, definitely check out Ninin Games. All right, so moving on to eBay, I wanted to show off the Hasbro Red Blade Liger and get some prices for it, but we may have a buyout on our hands because there is not a single one on here. I think this is interesting. This is like one of those quick builds, like the little Murasame Liger that I have. It's like there's like D style ones, and there's like some of the older HMM ones that, again, I do not trust these pictures of these stock images. But there is not a single one of this is probably a bootleg as well, this Mirage. I would not buy that at all. But yeah, there is not a single Hasbro Red Blade Liger on here at all. I think I found one, and it was like $500 or something crazy like that. So here we just searched Red Blade Liger, and that's literally all we get. Not a single Hasbro one on the market. And then I searched Hasbro Blade Liger, and we get like everything else under the sun. Now, allegedly, this Takara Tomy one is the same as the Red Blade Liger, just the Japanese release of it. Again, I'm not so sure about that. That might be worth looking into. But again, like, nothing. There's no Red Blade Ligers on the market at all. I've never seen this before because I've looked for this thing for a while. There's a action figure of the Shield Liger from the Hasbro line. This is the only one I've seen on the market. $600. What in the world is going on? So, like I said, I think we have a buyout on our hands because this thing is just gone. And so, I literally have wanted this thing ever since I was a kid. And the fact that I got one for the price that I did was pretty fortunate. So, yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on this because I'm pretty sure we have a buyout. So somebody must have gone through and bought out all of the Red Blade Liger as well. So I had no idea how expensive Gojulas kits are, even the motorized ones, because there was no Hasbro Gojulas, to my understanding. And so you're basically looking at the OJR release, you're looking at the 1999 release for the anime, and you're looking at what the Technozoid version, and there's a couple other ones in between there, like Zoids Mark II and Zoids Mariner, or Gojulas Mark II, Gojulas Mariner, things like that. Gojulas Giga is actually much cheaper because there was a Hasbro release of it for the Fusers line. But yeah, this is an OJR right here. Again, this person knows what they have is vintage. $700. That's another OJR. $550. Absolutely just ridiculous. And don't even get me started on the HMM Gojulas. I'm just not even going to look at that because look at this garbage right here. Like, this person has a built Gojulas the Ogre, $1,100. It should be cheaper when it's built. It's more expensive unbuilt. And I thought that like $600 was a ton for this thing when I saw it at Anime Expo back in 2017. Here's a 1999 one to Karatomi. Again, $500 for that. There's another OJR, $1,000. Just forget about it. Here's a King Gojulas, which I've been told is the true holy grail of Zoids collecting. Again, $600. Gojulas the Ogre. This is, again, the Takara Tomy 1999 release. Almost $300. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Here's another 1999 one, $340. Again, this one appears to be mint in box, though, which is pretty cool. And then this thing. I have no idea what this thing is. Apparently, this is like a chrome-plated Gojulas. It looks rad as hell. It's got some like a translucent motor in the center there where you can see into it. $7,500. Yeah, forget about that. Yeah, so I don't know what to tell you guys about that. I mean, there is no affordable Gojulas out there. Here's a loose one for almost $200, but I don't trust that stock image. And then here's a Gojulas Mark II, which is probably one of the ones I would love to have. This one is like an all white. This is again from the 1985-86 line, $300. And no other pictures, so we don't know if it's mint in box. Just what a train wreck. Like, good luck on finding Gojulas out there. Finally, I just went on eBay and just searched for Zoids Vintage just to see what popped up. Apparently people have a different idea of what vintage is when it comes to Zoids, because some people don't even know about the 80s line and they only know about the Hasbro line. So you have a random, it looks like a trashed Liger Zero here for $20 that they say is vintage, whatever. This I thought was really cool. So this is a OJR Shield Liger. And I talked before when I did the Modeler Spirit Series review and the Hasbro review about the difference in the colors. So you can definitely tell with this color scheme with the white fangs and the white feet and the sort of brownish canopy that this is an OJR and not a Hasbro. Very low price on that. Unfortunately, it's only an auction. You can't just buy it out, I believe. Pretty cool. And there's a couple other vintage ones here. So there's one of the little beetle ones. There's I don't remember what that one is called. Here's a Technozoid Ultrasaurus, $500. That's probably about what that's worth. I think that's it's not the Aquazoid. That's the one with the treads on it. Yeah, some of these are what I consider vintage, and they are not cheap. You can get some good specimens out there that are in good condition. Like, this is pretty cool right here. Yeah, this is what vintage Zoids look like. If you guys don't know, they're wild looking, but they're very, very simple at a much simpler time when, you know, robot toys were the big deal. And then we have another Technozoid Iron Kong here, $180. That's probably not bad if that is mint in box. And then this seller right here, whoever this person is that photographs them like this is probably a reliable person to buy vintage Zoids from, but they are listing them for what they're worth, so you're not going to get one cheap. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff here. Ooh, here's a gun blaster with the gold guns from the 1989 release. I talked about that. This I could not believe at all. So the OJR, what was his name? He has a name in the OER release in the blue Zoid, red Zoid version. I can't remember his name in the European release with the comics, but OJR Salamander, $4,300. I don't know what to tell you there. Here's an OER Terra Red, I guess. Like this again, original European release has the comics to go with it, where you had, you know, red Zoid versus blue Zoid. So these guys are really cool. Anyway, I think that about does it for this month's Market Watch. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.